Thought we did some good things. First half played well. Uh, Obviously, having the lead going into halftime was a good thing, and then just for whatever reason couldn't hold on to our momentum in the second half. Kind of similar to the game before, really, uh, against Permian. Kind of the same vibe, same situation. Um, I don't know what it is. Coming out in the second half, we just didn't play quite as good, and so, the holding penalty. That first drive of the second half really hurt us. And then 2 plays later, we turned the ball over. And, you can't do that on the road against a good team. And just couldn't find any momentum really after that. So those are kind of some of the things we pinpointed on film in the second half. We just got to clean it up moving forward in the playoffs.
I guess, you mentioned the turnover. It seems like, end of the first half, start of the second half, you had the momentum, you were moving the ball there until the turnover. Is that really, you see that as the turning point of the game?
Yeah, for whatever reason, we couldn't gain any momentum after that point. Played pretty good up until the end. Kind of overcame the holding penalty, moving the ball, and then turned it over. And then just couldn't get anything else going. It's kind of been the same the last 2 weeks. Like I said earlier, against Permian, it's kind of the same story. We had the lead at halftime. We were playing good, had some momentum, and then second half came out and just couldn't hold on to the momentum. And so, hopefully moving forward, we can do a little bit better job of playing in the second half.
Is there any, like those two games in the second half, is it anything to do with them making adjustments at halftime? Like I would wonder that, but then you came out pretty strong, until the turnover.
Yeah.
So,
No, no, not really. I mean, one thing they did do in the second half was they played their big offensive lineman, number 77. They played him some on the D line, which he was a big body. So they tried to play him in the second half. They did that some, and so I would say really that was the only adjustment that they made. Just kind of got ourselves in trouble with penalties and got behind the chains, and you just can't do that against a good football team. You got to try to stay ahead of the chains and stay on schedule, and we weren't able to do that.
Looking towards this week, going up against a good El Paso Eastwood team, how are you getting the team to put these past 3 weeks behind them and just focus on the playoffs and this week?
Well, it's a new season, really and truly. It's the third season. You kind of have a non-district season. You got your district season, and then if you're lucky enough to make the playoffs, then you got your that season. And so, really, that's been the message. Is it's kind of a fresh start. Everybody's really 0-0 going into the playoffs. Anything can happen, and so. We did some good things over the course of the last 3 weeks, but just we weren't able to sustain those things for 4 quarters. And so really we got to put that behind us, and we got to move on. And, we're going to have our work cut out traveling out to El Paso and playing a good football team out there. But really the message is just, hey, it's a new season. Everything kind of starts over, and let's go take advantage of the opportunity that we have in front of us.
What are some things that you personally have seen from this Eastwood team that y'all are preparing for?
Yeah, they're a good football team. They're 8-2. They lost South Lake Carroll in week 1, and then they lost to El Paso Pebble Hills as well. So those were their only 2 losses, but they're a good football team. They're well coached. We've seen them some in the summertime in 7-on-7. They're a big 7-on-7 team. They do a good job with that, but we're familiar with them from that standpoint. But as long as I've been here at San Angelo, which is several years now, we've never really played them up to this point. But so that'll be kind of new. But they're a good football team. They have good size, maybe not quite as good as what we've seen over the last 3 weeks against some of our district opponents, but still got some good size. Quarterback's playing well. He's a good dual threat quarterback. Throws the ball well. Also runs well. They got a good tailback. He's not super big a kid, but he's more like a scat back. He's pretty quick, and he's able to hit the hole and do some good things. And then defensively, they're a unit that plays hard. They got a few guys that kind of play both ways, but not many. But defensively, they try to crowd the box, crowd the line of scrimmage, and try to take your run game away for the most part. But overall, they're a good football team, and traditionally, they've done a good job out in El Paso, won a lot of football games.
13 straight playoff appearance. What does it mean to continue that streak for Central football?
Yeah, it's a good thing. Anytime that you can play in the playoffs, it's a good thing. I think it brings some excitement to your community and your school and all of the above. And so, it's one of our goals that we have at the beginning of each year that we set out to do. And so, to be able to accomplish it, it's a good thing. It's kind of going back to your question a while ago. It's a little bit difficult when you're coming off 3 games in a row that hadn't been real successful. I mean, it would be obviously better to have won a couple of those games heading into the playoffs, so that makes it a little more challenging. But at the same time, we've talked to our kids a lot about being excited about this opportunity, and that half the teams in the state of Texas are putting their gear up, and we're not one of those. And so we've got a good opportunity here in front of us, and we're hopeful that we can go take advantage of it.
And you mentioned defensively, they like to crowd the box, stop the run, and a lot of teams in the district, they finally figured out you got to try to do something to maintain Tyler on the run from getting loose on the long runs. But against them, the way they like to stop the run, do you see opportunities for like RPOs, play fake, things like that to get them over the top?
Yeah, we hope so. We hope so. I mean, that's part of our game plan every single week, and we do a pretty good job of mixing up the run and the pass for the most part. And so we feel like there's opportunities that we can take advantage of. The bottom line is we just got to go execute. We got to do our job, and we got to do our job better and faster than we've done it all year. And so that's the goal, and that's the hope that when we get out there and on Friday night that we perform better than we have all year.
Finishing with 3 straight losses is something you want to do, but like you said, you told them it's a new opportunity, new season, so are they feeling pretty confident and upbeat?
Yeah. Like I said, it's kind of challenging, to get them to understand, like, even though you're disappointed that we didn't win the last 3 games, and rightfully so, I'm disappointed too. They all know that the goal is to win the football game, and we didn't quite get it done here the last 3 weeks, but we did play good enough to earn a spot in the playoffs, and we need to be proud of that. But I think we are excited about continuing to be able to play. We're able to continue to play. Like I said, a lot of teams in the state of Texas are putting up their gear, and we're not. So I think our kids realize that. I think they're excited. I mean, we got a good cohesive group, a good cohesive team that likes to be around each other, and so they want to keep it going. And so I think that they are excited about this opportunity, even though we have to travel out to El Paso, which is never easy, but we kind of are used to it at this point. I mean, we've done it for several years now in a row, so we kind of got a good game plan, good itinerary as far as how we handle it, and we'll go out there, break the trip up, and hopefully play our best game yet, and hopefully get another one after this week.